Hey, Star fam. Could you get any louder? Hey, Star fam, how are we doing? Oh, I hate that. So let me move over here. Hey, how are we doing? I am a lot better today. Thank you all who checked on me. Your girl is okay. I just have to eat. That's it. That's just literally it. How are you guys? Hey, Fareed, how are you? Hey, Black Lavender. Hey, E for Empathy. Hey, Alana. Tia Via. Yes, I am feeling a lot better. I watched that video back and I feel so bad for the people who watched that later because I wanted to edit that out, but YouTube would not allow me. I kept on going into YouTube editor and wanting to cut that part out, but it just for some reason would not let me cut that part out. And I feel so bad for everybody who saw that part of the video. If you don't know, I had to hop off my live early yesterday because I wasn't feeling well. The issue is I just didn't eat that day. I don't know what's going on with me, y'all. I'm
the day before.
And the day before. I don't know what's going on. I'm I don't know, maybe it's because it's just too hot. I'm not cooking, and when I do cook, it's that's it. I don't want to cook anymore. So
and you walked.
And I did a 5-mile walk yesterday.
Yes, with no food in this hot sun.
And I don't know. I just, for some reason, I just haven't been feeling hungry. So I feel like my body doesn't tell me that I'm hungry. I just don't eat. And that's just not smart. That is just not smart.
Not smart at
And I
all.
also, you guys know that I changed my eating habits, and I have to realize that, you know, a slice of watermelon is not going to hold me over the same way a slice of pizza will. Slice of pizza got me for a good 5 hours. A slice of watermelon got me for 30 minutes. So, you know, just being better about that and getting better educated about, you know, foods and nutrition and all of those things, I will do better. And I'm so sorry for scaring everybody. Man, who said Nikki, come on in the room? Yes, come on in the room.
Oh,
come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in the room? You're right on time. You're right on time. Come on in the room. Whoa, come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about. I said we got so much to talk about. We got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in
the room? Shut up!
I say come on, not Shamo. Also, I'm not drinking enough water either. So I got like all my water here. I got some oatmeal here just in case. It's not a game. I'm not playing with y'all again. I feel so bad. Fareed said, I think it's the end of Real Housewives of Atlanta. I don't know how to feel about the reboot if it's the same poor editing. True. True. Oh, where have you been? Yeah, they talking about a reboot. Fareed said, yeah, I'm over it at this point. I don't know if holding on to nostalgia is productive because Nene ain't coming back. Portia wants too much coin. Child, mess. So much better. Hey, DeWay. Simply Simone said, hey, Star family, did you see that Candy sent out copyright? I did not see that. She sent out copyright strikes for YouTubers who posted about her speak on an episode with Courtney calling her out. I don't know. I mean, the money good, so she probably not going to listen to me, but I feel like speak on it and Candy Coated Nights is going to get my good sis in trouble, and I just want her to be done with it. You got enough money. You don't need it. Santino said, Nikki, I'm so glad you're back. I was thinking about how you were doing this morning. Thank you. Hope you're feeling better. And honestly, guys, I felt all of the prayers. As soon as I sat down and had a meal, I was feeling a lot better. And that's when I realized that, yeah, mama got to eat more. It's so funny.
Had to come running down.
Yeah, my poor mom. She was terrified. It's so funny, like when you change your eating habits and you just like start eating healthier, you have to eat more. You have to eat more. I feel like I'm overeating, but I'm not eating enough at this point. It's crazy. Well, see, this is the thing. A lot of people are trying to be hosts and interviewers and journalists, but you just don't have the criteria or the background to do such things. And I'm just like, shout out to the hosts, shout out to the interviewers, shout out to the journalists that make that job look easy, because it's not. It's not. And a lot of people who are trying to do it without any kind of education or training are seeing that it's not an easy job to do, because a seasoned professional would have never asked that. They would have been very aware of their audience. They would have been very aware of the temperature of a subject like that, and probably would have asked it differently, would not have been chuckling. It's not an easy thing to do. It is not an easy thing to do. Marlene said, hi, Nikki. I hope you're doing better. I am. Our flight back to Brussels got canceled last night, and we're stuck with the kids at the airport. Oh, I'm so sorry. Still in the Congo. Damn you, Brussels Airlines. My God, today. What a fabulous life. I'm leaving the Congo to go to Brussels. I know that's right. But I'm so sorry. I hate being in an airport for any amount of time. So sorry. Kiss the babies for me. Thank you, Teresa. Much better. Much better.
To Mitch McConnell.
My mom said I did a Mitch McConnell. Ma. Oh my gosh. Hey, Black Lavender. Hey, Jasmine. And the thing about it is, if I was in LA, this wouldn't have happened, right? It's so hot down here. You have to drink a ton of water. Because that's the thing. I had something to eat and I drank like 4 of these and I was fine. I didn't know that I was that dehydrated. It's crazy down here. The heat is ridiculous. Because it's heat and humidity. It's muggy. Yes. That's what it is. I don't feel like it. I do not feel like it. Pretty Kitty said, "Hey, Nikki and Star family, I'm glad you're feeling better today. Thank you so much." What are you making? That smells delicious.
You want some?
Yeah, what is it? If it has dairy, no. Yeah, I don't feel like that. Hey, Christina. Christina said, "Hi, Nikki. Hey, Star family. Hi, Mama Star."
Hi, my love.
TV said, "Let us know, Mama Star. She's not doing what she needs to do." Yeah, my mom, she's not playing with me. Before I got on, she said, "Do you have everything that you need? Did you eat?" Hey, Tiffany. Hey, CM. Dr. M said, "Now, Nikki, don't give yourself an ulcer. Eat something, at least some soup. I wish I could ship you some Ghanaian light soup to you." You know what? I would actually love that. I pulled my pumpkin pot out because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make soup because that's just something I can eat all year round and just never tire of it. So I'm actually going to Trader Joe's is too far. I might just go to Whole Foods and get a pumpkin because I'm just going to make a harvest soup. Listen, tomorrow is September 1st. So I'm going to do it. It's hot as hell here, but soup is something I will just never get tired of eating. I love that y'all love these nails that need to get done, which is why I'm trying to wait to get to LA to get my nails done because my nail girl been getting me right. Y'all have been loving my nails, so I want to stick with her. I don't want to cheat on her. Simply Sam said, ask Candy how to edit out that part because we know her team are pros too soon. Listen, I think it's probably because she was able to do it because she just has bigger numbers than me. But I was not able to cut that out. And I'm like, everybody's going to watch that and be so concerned. And I feel so bad because if I cut it out, I knew I was going to have to lose the comments. And I hate to do that because I like how you guys engage with each other. But I was just like, this is scary. And I want to cut this out. But then when I tried to cut it out, it was going to make me delete the whole video. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Yes. We'll get into it. But I absolutely think, I don't think it's just a driver conversation, but I just think it's a rumor. I hope not. That's not good to go after a Black woman that's promoting your show. So Steph said, "I have always felt like Candy was low-key very messy. People are finally seeing my point. OMG, I feel vindicated." Hey, Jazzy. Dr. M said, "Yeah, those foods burn a lot quicker. That's why most people eat 5 times a day." Yeah, and I just have a hard time with that. Y'all know I don't eat before 12 p.m. Like I'm not a breakfast person, but I have to be now, which is why it's taking me forever to eat this oatmeal. It's just like I am constantly eating and I'm like, it's too much. I don't feel like it, but I have to. Connor said she could have saved herself the drama by not having Courtney on speak on it. Nobody asked for it anyway. You're right. Naive Evian said, "Yeah, I've been side-eyeing Candy this season. The Drew thing is just getting too much." At this point, Drew is just getting bullied. Paige or else I finally caught alive. I've been in Paris for 2 weeks. Oh, I love it.
How lovely.
Regine said you need a hunger suppressant. What, don't I need the opposite? I need a hunger wake upper. I need a hunger wake upper. Hey, Miss Hillary. Carmen said, "Nikki, I left my real nice Starbucks."
What happened?
She left her really nice sparkling Starbucks cup at work, and when she came back, it was gone. But I know the Star family will brighten my day. I am so sorry. The way I would be fighting my coworkers over my Starbucks cup is not a game. It's not a game. She should let both of them shows go. I'm telling you, it's just not a good look. I feel like she's always going to get in trouble with that. Simply Simone said, "I hate Brussels Airlines. Haven't flown with them since they lost my luggage for a good week on my way back home. If you fly to Congo, fly through Air France." Oh, okay. So it seems like you always got to go through Brussels to get to the Congo. That I did not know. Look at the Star family helping each other out. Oh my goodness. Air France indeed. Oh, good golly, said it's 6:30 a.m. in Hawaii. What's up? We in Hawaii. We in Brussels. I know that's right. Golden Soul said, Nikki, hey, girl, hey. I can eat it.
Ain't she in Hawaii?
Oh, yeah. How is it over there? Good golly. Mama Star is asking, and I'm concerned as well. Yolanda said, I love me some good soup. All year round. It's just so hot down here. I don't want to do nothing. Guys, I haven't left my house in like 3 days. I only went out to walk early, and that was it. It's just ridiculously hot. But yeah, I eat it all year round. And you know, one of my favorite places, and this place really helped me. I started making my soup when I was able to get a bit stronger. But before then, when I was just like so weak, my family would get me the chicken tortilla soup from Senior Fish in LA. I think they're in Atwater Village. I think it's Atwater Village. Senior Fish's chicken tortilla soup, delicious. Got me right together. Hey, Shanty. Listen, that video was scary. I was watching it like, I want to delete this. But I'm a lot better. Even listen, I'm not thirsty. I don't feel thirsty, but I want to drink water. I'm just going to do it. Physical Taste by Mika said, hey, Nikki, hey. Santino said, y'all, I was rewatching Real Housewives of Atlanta season 6. What a season. Last night and forgot how light and good the episodes were. We totally need a recast because there's no more development to see for 10-year plus cast members. Season 6 was it. Miss Hillary said, I can understand using clips from Speak On It, but if they use her whole video, then I understand the copyright strike. That's true. Like you have to be very careful of what you use. And I feel like sometimes YouTube will let some stuff go. But if you're using 2 and 3 minutes of somebody's video, they're on a copyright strike. Hey, Priscilla. Oh, it was Jay Lee's Corner. Yikes. Hey, Juvi, how are you? Fareed said, did you see Yawn at an interview where she said they offered her a Peach season 5? We could have had Neo mess on Bravo. What? Did she say why she didn't take it? Did she say why? Miss GG88, we waited just for you. Thank you for being here. So what said, hi, Nikki, I like Candy, but I think she is staying too long on the show. That's a good point, that she is becoming a villain, just my opinion. Ugh. Yeah, I feel like she needs to get out while her image is still intact. Because at the end of the day, your image is what is going to proceed, procedure. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. It's what our grandmoms always say. But that is the thing that's going to walk into rooms before you walk into a room. And Candy had an image, a very lighthearted, easygoing, innocent, fun image. And since we've been on this show, for me personally, I've learned things that I don't want to know, right? Especially as somebody who is a fan of her work. I feel like there's nowhere to go for her on this show but down. And I feel like she needs to get out before she goes down. Period. Oh, he's a hater. Oh, Belize, what's up? CM said, because Neo didn't want his business in the streets. Miss T said, I definitely think it's time for a reboot. Glad I made it live. Dwayne says, since Candy and the gang is coming back now, it's time to get out. I agree. I think she should drop Speak On It or reboot Speak On It, right? Where she actually hires a host, where she actually hires a journalist. And if I were her, I would make it a panel. So a lot of the heat and a lot of the onus could be off of her. Candy Coded panel or something like that. And I would get rid of Candy Coded Nights. That guy is a liability. And with all of, the sex stuff that she has going on, having somebody like that, where you are promoting this person and putting them to the forefront and sharing this person to your audience, I feel like it's very dangerous and not smart. But she should speak on the panel, get rid of Candy Coated Nights, leave the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and become a mother figure on Candy and the Gang. That's what needs to happen. That's what needs to happen. Hey, Kay. Miss Kay said, hi, Nikki and Mama Star. Happy to catch your live. Thank you for being here. Shay said, did y'all hear about the executive producers complaining on the Real Housewives of Atlanta about fans bullying them? Yep, and we're going to talk about it. So this is what's going to happen. We're first going to get into the Real Housewives of Orange County because I want to leave the conversation about the Real Housewives of Atlanta reboot second to last, because we're going to end with the Bravo lawsuit. The reason why I want to end it second to last is because a lot of people are going to just be coming into the live, and I want everybody to be here when we talk about that because I know everybody's going to have a lot of comments. So I'm going to keep that second to last. We're first going to get into the Real Housewives of Orange County recap. Then we're going to get into the Kenya and Nene interviews and the parallels of that, and then we'll get into the Atlanta reboot. So Steph said Candy try to say she don't get her friends to do her mess, but she does, and that's how she's kept her image intact. Listen, starting to look like that, Candy. Philly John 86 said, hey, Nikki. Hey, Star fan. What's up, Philly John? Miss Gigi 88 said, I was so worried about you yesterday, Nikki. I was going to message you on you, but then I saw the live notification. Glad to see you're doing better. Thank you so much. Fareed said, they said we could just have Kenya, Candy, Sheree coming back. How do you feel about that? It all depends on who's playing with them. I'm so sorry, good golly. Maui is struggling. I'm not going to lie. I'm in Hilo on the Big Island. So we are experiencing the same level with sending donations and love. Oh, so sorry. Thank you for doing what you can over there. Candy needs to exit. OMG. Mademoiselle said Kenya needs to concentrate on her divorce, her hair care products and Sally's and CVS, her mental health, her hair salon, and leave gracefully. I feel like they just need to be graduated, right? And I feel they're starting to do that with the girls' trip, but they still haven't figured out how to do the girls' trip. But I feel like there's a way to graduate your senior OCs, but I've given these people enough ideas. I'm not giving them anymore. Yes, my P.O. box is in my About section, Teresa. So if you go to my channel and you hit About, my P.O. box will come up. Shay said, I think the Real Housewives of Atlanta needs to change production teams, writers, cast, and start fresh. I think Andy was over it this final reunion. I feel like this is the first reunion in a long time for the Real Housewives of Atlanta when it's 2 episodes. Remember, it used to be a 3-part. Now they a 2-part. Says a lot. Says a lot. Thank you for being here, Dope Since 1986. Thank you for being here. Audacity of Ambition said, hate to admit it, but Courtney did her job causing chaos for Candy, Drew, and Kenya's reputation. Yeah, she's a fan of the show. She knows what's needed. She came and she did what needed to be done. Unfortunately, it's going to affect a lot of people's money and probably hers. Probably hers. Hey, Tiny. Thank you for being here. We're going to get Jade, and then we're going to end with Drea and get into the Real Housewives of OC. Jade says Sheree coming back is a crime. Kenya needs to exit. She's boring. And her scenes weren't aired. Also, she's to blame for producers being attacked and threatened. Child, Jade came in hot. Hot. Thank you so much, Drea, for the super chat. Drea said, hey, Nikki.Star fam, I'm so glad I caught a live. Thank you for being here, Drea. Let's get into the Real Housewives of Orange County. I know I haven't been covering this, but I wanted to start covering them because the Real Housewives of Atlanta is going to end. And I feel like from watching the Real Housewives of Orange County, I saw their mid-season trailer, and it seems like it's going to pick up for me. So I was like, you know what? Let me get into these girls. Let me get into these old girls, these mature girls. Let's talk about Shannon, right? Here's the thing. Shannon is a character, right? But I feel like at this point, y'all have to have something else besides the Shannon takedown season, right? And from what I have watched of the Real Housewives of Orange County thus far, there's no way they should be doing better numbers than the Real Housewives of Atlanta. There's fairly no storyline. The storyline jumps every freaking episode, and now we're back to let's take down Shannon. It is clear that this woman is going through a lot. It is clear that this woman should not be on this show, but she needs the money. And it's clear that this cast continues to come for her because she's easily breakable. And it's like enough at this point. Find another target. Thank you so much, Missy, for the Cash App. Missy said, "For so happy to see your face today. Thank you." And I'm going to give you two because as soon as I got off of live, I was laying on my couch and I heard a Cash App symbol. I didn't check it until later, and it was from you. So thank you so much for the Cash Apps. Yes, thank you, sis. I feel like with Shannon, it's enough. We got to move on to somebody else or reboot. Y'all got to move on to somebody else. But I don't think this cast is going to get a reboot because they're doing very well. They're doing very well, and I'm telling you, if you are in the season where you are competing with the Real Housewives of Orange County and you are doing worse than them, it's a problem. I'm so glad that Heather finally sold that monotone prison. My God, today the girl can act, but she does not have a lick of interior design taste. That home was scary. Very, very scary. Glad that she sold it. Glad that she has an apartment in LA now with Terry. However, as a person who lives in LA, I would not recommend living in a high rise. Why in the hell would you live in a high rise on a fault line? Don't make a lick of sense. Don't make a lick of sense. But her and Terry now have an apartment in LA. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that she is in LA because she's going to be on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. If you have been watching me since 2015, you know that I always thought that Heather was miscast. I always thought that she was on the wrong show. I feel like she would be very good on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and that's where she needs to be. So I'm hoping that this home, this apartment in LA is for that time. But then it's really weird to me. If you guys watch this show and you know what I'm talking about, and you know further why she's doing this, please explain it to me. So Heather finally sold her prison in Orange County. She now has a high-rise apartment in LA. It's a 2-bedroom. They got a gang of kids, right? Majority of the kids are going off to college. I'm like, do y'all not expect them to come back home? But they're also going to be renting a home in Orange County for the kids to have a place to come back to for the holiday. It's very weird to me. It's very weird to me. Now, either they intend on buying another home in the Orange County and just going and sleeping at that apartment, for a few days. It's just really weird. It's weird to have an apartment in LA, a home in Orange County, when you still have kids that are still in school. Like, I think she has 2 kids that are still in school, but you got this apartment in LA. So who is that for? Is it just for, she said it was for her and Terry, but I'm like, y'all still got kids. Like, y'all still got kids that need help and guidance. I don't know. And then I'm just like, when y'all do move to the apartment, when the kids that are in junior high go to high school and then college, are y'all not anticipating having a place for them to come back to? Because they're going to be renting a home in Orange County. So I'm like, do y'all plan on just moving out of Orange County when the kids graduate high school? She just got a lot going on for me. It's a lot happening for me, and it's not making any sense. I hope that she just got this apartment just to film the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and her and Terry are probably going to settle down there when the kids are older. I just felt like she did it a bit too soon, but maybe the Beverly Hills opportunity came now, because since Taylor from Beverly Hills is on Orange County, they're like, okay, well, we can take Heather. I think it's a great idea. I just feel like she just got a lot of property stuff going on. And listen, when you got $55 million, you can burn, money. So maybe she's just fine with burning this money. For my working class mind, it don't make a lick of sense. Speaking of Taylor, do I have Taylor? I thought I had Taylor's picture. Hold on. Tamara, Heather, Shannon, Emily, Gina. I don't have Taylor? I thought I had Taylor. Wait a minute. I do have Taylor. I do. I put her in this section. No, I don't have a picture of Taylor. Anyway, I'm talking about Oklahoma. Oklahoma Taylor, I like her. I'm just so surprised that she's not really showing up for me on the Real Housewives of Orange County. She showed up on the Ultimate Girls Trip, which got her the orange for this show, but she just really isn't showing up on this show. Like, every time I see her, I'm like, are you a friend of, or are you an actual orange holder? She's just not showing up, and I don't know what's going on. Like, I see more of Taylor, her antics on TMZ. when she's drunk and high on pills. But when she's on the show, disappearing. I hope she's okay. That TMZ video was very alarming. Jen, I think, wait a minute. Where the hell is Jen's picture? Oh, did they not let me post it? What is going on? I have these ladies' pictures. Child, I'll get it for next time, but I know I loaded them here. Very weird. Jen, she is a new cast member. She is trying to make a relationship work with a jump off. She was cheating on her husband with this guy, and now she's trying to make this relationship work with this poorly dressed middle-aged man. And I'm just like, girl, let him go. He was a jump off. You should have just banged him and then backpack across Europe and, refound who you were and then came back to Orange County, a new woman. I feel like she's really struggling trying to make this relationship with this man work, who it's obvious that he doesn't really want to be with her in the long haul, but she's a good time. She has a TV show and she got a lot of money. So I feel like she knows what's going to happen and she's trying to prevent it or save face. But I'm like, girl, you was just supposed to bang him and flourish. You were not supposed to make a relationship out with this man. And that's why it's not working. Also, Jen, Tamara's not your friend. And I don't know how much you need to endure from her to realize that she don't like you. At least on this show. Tamara has always been about her check, and you right now are a friend of. You seem indisposable, so she's not going to invest in you, especially when mama got a mortgage. She done lost her gym. She needs this check because the podcast money will never hit like a Bravo check. So she got to do what she has to do. But after she assaulted you, I can't believe that you're still talking to her, Jen. I cannot believe that you and Tamara are still cool, because they would have physically removed me from that show the way I would have had my hand wrapped around her weave. Baby, you're just going to sit there and be like, what? Are you serious? Did you really just throw that at me? It would have been no talking coming from me. It would not have been no talking coming from me. So in this episode, Gina has a breakdown because the ladies are telling her that Shannon was talking about her DUI again and how CPS was going to take her kids. Now, Shannon, maybe you was drunk off of that tequila, but baby, you said that she was about to lose her kids had it not been for you. And this is what I said last time when Shannon brought that up, and I'm going to say it again. Shannon, stop doing stuff for people, because you do stuff for people and then you have to bring it up so you can feel validated or feel like you're above them or something like that. Don't help me. If I'm drowning, please don't help me. Just let the current take me, because baby, I'd rather die than hear about how you have saved me over and over and over again. You keep on punishing Gina for being at her lowest and you coming in to help. It would have been better for you to just not help her than to jump in, help her, and tell everybody every chance you get, especially when you're mad at her, how you helped her. It's enough. And it's not really helping your situation with all the girls ready to gang up on you anyway. It's not a good look when you're coming after Gina. And also, Gina, it's so weird that you are acting like you and Shannon are not friends, because before this incident, you was acting like y'all weren't really close. But I watched the seasons prior. There was a friendship there. Now, I don't know what happened or how it dissolved later on, because I did jump in and out of the show, but y'all were friends. And for you to say that you and Shannon ain't never been friends, that was real weird. That was real weird. It also seems like it's going to be a takedown season for Heather, and that's fine, because I think it's a takedown season because Heather is going to Beverly Hills, because all of a sudden, don't nobody like her. All of a sudden, all these ladies are standing up to Heather, cussing her out, telling her she ain't worth change for a quarter, and that has never happened. And Heather is taking it, which is very weird to me. So I'm just like, you're transitioning out of this show because you're checked out. You don't really care. You got a bigger check in Beverly Hills, and you are just checked out, because I've never seen Heather get cussed out this much and sit there and take it. She's crying at Shannon, apologizing immediately, telling Tamara that what happened in the situation didn't happen. And when Tamara shuts her down, Heather shuts up. Something is afoot. Something is afoot. I'm like, I have never seen you get cussed out the way you were getting cussed out on this show by these freaking day players, and you're eating it. Something's up, Heather. Something's up, and I hope the something is you're going to be holding a diamond. Where's the budget for this season? I mean, shout out to production because you have zero budget and you are doing great in the viewership numbers. So good for you. But where's the budget? This is the Real Housewives of Orange County. When they came on the scene, they said that they were richer than LA. It ain't showing. The first trip was some ranch and a dilapidated ranch trip and some dilapidated Airbnb. They ate chicken wings and rode a bull in the middle of nowhere. Where is the budget? All of the girls' trips have been in like some abandoned parking lot or cornfield. The Real Housewives of Orange County are carving pumpkins in a cornfield. Where's the budget? Where's the money? What is happening? But again, shout out to production. You have zero budget and you are eating the Real Housewives of Atlanta and the viewership numbers. So good for you. Good for you. But the sad part about it is they were able to do these numbers with this lack of budget. Bravo going to give you less next season. Sucks for you. I don't know where they're going to take them to next. Chili's? I'm like, where's the money? Where's the fabulousness? I'm not seeing it. I will not. I am not seeing it. Shannon, last thing, right? You're going through it, and I feel really bad for you. Your mouth is not helping your situation because you want people to stop talking about your man, but then you bring up, and you can say that Tamara brought it up and she shouldn't have brought it up, but you said on camera that Gina's man got a little penis. Why would you say that? And they're going to be like, I don't know why everybody's mad at me. Why would you say that? I didn't bring up Travis's little. Why would you do that? And poor Gina, because as soon as you said that, Gina wanted to be friends again. Gina was like, you know what? I'm over it. Let's just move on. Gina, you told Shannon that about your man. You told her. See, this is why y'all don't do this show right. Y'all need to do this show like y'all coworkers. Y'all start doing this show and it just gets intimate, and all of a sudden you think these ladies are your friends and y'all be telling y'all business. That's the problem with Shannon right now. She told everybody her business. Now everybody is concerned, thinking that man is beating on her, and now she's afraid because she just said too much. And Gina did the same thing. These are your coworkers. They are not your besties. You tell them surface information and collect your check and go home when filming wraps. Don't hang out with them afterwards. Do a cute little happy hour at the same place that you filmed and go home and live your best life. That's what's going to keep on getting y'all in trouble. These are not your friends. They are your coworkers. Let's get into your comments. Miss T said, Shannon makes all her issues more than they have to be. We'll talk. Shannon been unhinged. Remember when we met her? Heather was like, get this woman out of my house. You all will know the truth. Heather was like, get her out of my home. Oh, Heather back in the day was something else. Tia B said, I said the same thing. The numbers not matching the content. Something is afoot. Something is afoot. Miss T said, until Terry retires, they really can move to LA full time. But wait, doesn't he do? I think he has a practice in LA as well, Beverly Hills to be exact. And I think that's where their high-rise condo is located. Mademoiselle H said, I don't want to see Heather on Beverly Hills. I think she just wants to be close to Candy Spellin, who lives in that same apartment building. Not Candy Spellin in an apartment building, and her daughter is in a trailer in Van Nuys. Candy, get your child. Get your child. Get your daughter. Oh my goodness. Like, I don't care what the fight was. Ain't nothing worth your daughter and your grandbabies living in a trailer in Van Nuys. Get your baby. Oh, these rich people are evil. Jay said, ooh, Heather hates having people on her same financial level. Hence how she treated Shannon when she came on. She would be a dud on Beverly Hills. Erica will have her crying an all tight lip. Child, Erica, who's getting sued again. Erica, what is going on? Her costume designer is suing her for credit card fraud. What? This is so ghetto. This is so ghetto. I'm like, Erica, what? Because her costume designer was just like, she is trying to say that I was scamming with the credit cards that she gave me to buy this stuff, and she wants me to take the fall. Absolutely not. Teresa said, you can make really strange decisions. Yeah. It probably makes sense to her because she's wealthy. It probably makes sense to her. But to me, I was like, this is really weird. Really, really weird. So are y'all just renting places for the kid? Because it seems like her and Terry are going to be in LA until the kids come home from school. But then you got two other kids that are still like in junior high. So what y'all doing with them? It's very weird. It's very weird. She was great on Girls Trip, but she's just like, I don't know what's happening to her on this show. She was also good on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Oh, she's a friend of. Okay. So then that makes sense. But yeah, because thank you. Because Connor, I remember she was supposed to be full time. Hey, Johnny's acting channel. How are you? Tell is okay, she's a friend of. Yikes. Yikes. Not when it comes to a check. And she's only going to be loyal to people who she knows they're going to stay on the show. Like she's not loyal to Shannon because Shannon is a good friend to her, or she's a good friend to Shannon. She's loyal to Shannon because she knows that the show will get rid of Jen before they get rid of Shannon. He does. But see, that's the thing. That was his purpose for her, right? His purpose was to make her feel seen, right? Pleasure her in a way she hasn't been pleasured before. And then she comes to her senses and leaves that moment, getting what she needed to get from him and moving on. Right now, I don't recommend doing that while you're still married to somebody. I don't play with blood covenants between the Lord. I don't play with that. But speaking on this relationship, that's what it should have been. She's trying to make this relationship with this man work, and I feel like she knows that it just cannot. But she wants to save face because she blew up her life for him. So she's trying to save face, and I would just be like, "Girl, no, you blew up your life because you were unhappy. Don't try to make it work with this guy because when he hurts you, everybody's going to be like, karma, karma. See, this is what you get. Move on from that situation. Move on from that situation. Maybe you need to have a mommy whole season. Maybe that's just what you need to do. But move on from the situation because he's going to embarrass you if he has not already. He is going to embarrass you, and nobody is going to care because you blew up your life for him. JG says Tamara is so envious of poor Jen. I think Jen is being cool because of the show, which is also a bad idea. I'm telling you, it would be on site every time I seen Tamara after what she did to Jen and Nobu. It would be on site. It would be because she's the youngest. They always have a younger person on the show to give ditzy, and so the older woman could be a mother to her. Oh, she's Maine. She gives friend of. Child, thank y'all for informing me. Thank y'all for informing me. CM says Heather and Shannon have legit beef, which makes sense. The others don't. What is the beef? Because I just feel like Heather is just not a good friend, right? Especially to people who she has more money than. Like Heather's not going to be the same friend to Shannon that she's going to be to Candy Spelling. And that's just it, right? And you just have to deal with that if you want to be friends with her. But I feel like Shannon gets mad at Heather for just being Heather. I'm like, this is who she has always been. This is who she has always been. And you can't get mad at her for talking about your relationship when you gave her this information knowing who she is. As soon as Heather got a confessional, as soon as the camera got in her face, she started telling everybody about how terrible her relationship is. But when people talk about the paparazzi pictures that look staged, she shuts that down, as she should. Shannon gives light to all of this stuff and make people believe that what's being said is the truth. Girl, you got to do better. Yeah, I've always said that. I've always said that about Heather. I was just like, this is the Beverly Hills girl. Beverly Hills. It's actually good. It's not bad. I don't have an appetite. But I'm like, let's eat something. Let's eat something. I wanted her to come back. I thought she was good on the show. I regret wanting that. You know what I mean? She's giving me Marlo. I wanted Marlo on the show, and it's just like, it's not working. My casting choices aren't working. You think so, Jade? You think so? I think with everything going on with Kyle, because Kyle, I feel like Kyle is probably going to take a back seat because of everything that's happening with her. I think Heather will take the main spot because Erica don't want the main spot, because if you got the main spot, then you got to talk about all of her lawsuits, right? I think that Heather will come in and rank, poor rank. I mean, that trip was terrible. They didn't do anything. Oh, bison burgers. What the hell is this? That's supposed to have money. I can get a bison burger from Trader Joe's. Girl, what? That Party City decor that nobody was going to come to, and Shannon had a whole meltdown. So they had the pistol whip people to come to this Party City party, and we up to this moment, we don't know what it was about. You know what? Since you bring this up, Eddie, that party wasn't offensive to you as a Mexican? Because what Eddie don't give me white Mexican. He give me indigenous. Like, you're not passing. And like, they're wearing sombreros. And he just looking around and passing me, and that's a kid. You don't feel no way. That was weird. Where is the money? Show me the money. And this is the thing. If this season did really good with this budget, I'm telling you, they're going to get less because you're showing the network that we don't need a lot to make a season. Never do that. Black Lavender said, yes, there's a budget this season, and it's set in hell. Oh, me too. Oh, I love me a Chili's. That's the only thing me and my dad agree on. Chili's. We love a Chili's. We love a Chili's. Yeah, they're your coworkers. Don't tell them your business. Jay said they don't think he's physical. They all said he's basically not fully into it, and that's not grounds for how any of them are acting. Heather and Emily just looking for something to talk about. I think he just doesn't want to be on the show. He's never looked like he ever wanted to be on the show. He gets annoyed every time he's on camera. But to be with, Shannon, you got to be on the show. CM said that night with Heather saying Shannon was having a breakdown and she was doing everything Shannon called her out for is when I really saw Heather. Oh, yeah. That's what she is. Me too, but she just wants to be booed up so bad. I hope she gets it right. Hey, Spency, thank you for being here. Let me get a few more, and then we're going to get into the Kenya and Nene interview. NC said, I believe Shannon is still angry that Gina and Emily ganged up on her last year. Rightfully so, but she should cuss them out to their face and keep it moving instead of being passive-aggressive digs. I agree. Emily, I like her. She hasn't had a storyline for a very long time. I do not know why the show keeps her, because she's just not interesting enough to just be a space holder, because she doesn't give anything, unfortunately. And I say this as somebody who likes her. I do. I would love for her to keep this check, but I'm like, what are you giving to this show? Jimmy says, Heather and Shannon are terrified of Tamara. I hope they tear her apart at the reunion, but I know they won't. Heather just seems checked out. Sierra said, it's obviously Kenya's out the door. Her fans are psych born and crazy, and I called it years ago. Threatening people's lives over a TV show. Nene went through way worse, and Nene stands never did that. Ciao. I think that, I think stands in general are not where people need to be. I feel like a lot of stands are unwell. Fans, I can rock with. The stands, something is wrong. You don't know these people, and you're creating relationships and getting into fights with people you do not know. People who won't piss on you if you're on fire. Get help. CM said Heather didn't like Shannon for having more than her. Heather lied about living near Shannon when Shannon came on. Shannon wanted to be her friend. Heather was mad about Noella. Yeah, they need Noella back. I don't care. They need Noella back. Dollface 2905 said, I don't care. Heather is too pretentious for Beverly Hills. Heather likes to tell you how much she has and spends and wants you to be impressed. Kyle just spends the money and knows she's and knows she's impressive without saying a word. It will be a battle of the brunettes, baby. That's what I want to see. This is what I want to see. Mademoiselle said Heather will bring a certain level of pretentiousness that other women do not have. BH, Kyle, Erica, Garcelle, because they did not grow with that kind of life. Neither did Heather, right? Is she a rich kid? I feel like that's put on. I feel like that's put on. You didn't miss much. I just talked about the Real Housewives of Orange County. Now we're going to get into Carlos King did an interview with Nene and Kenya, and I just wanted to talk about the both of them because I thought they were very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's get into the Nene interview. First of all, Carlos, he has a relationship with these women. It's very obvious. They love him. He still coaches them on the side, has been coaching them for years, and they just have a good relationship. They really liked him as a producer. And so that relationship isn't going anywhere. I think it will be very smart for him with the relationships that he has with these ladies to give us what everybody has been asking for. The OG Real Housewives of Atlanta on another network. OWN will eat it up. OWN will eat it up because that will probably be one of their biggest shows. The Nene interview showed me that she is still interesting, that she is still good for reality TV, that to be quite honest with you, she is a queen of reality TV for a reason. She's just an interesting person. She had a lot of great points to make about the show when she was just like, we had 5 million. Every episode had 5 million plus views. And now it's 500,000. That's a problem. And she's right. I don't think it was a shade. I don't think it was a read. I believe that she was just being upfront and speaking her truth about it. And she was basically saying that what needs to happen is what happened years ago. And it can never happen because nobody's in the same place that they're at. And she also was just saying, talking about like the lawsuits, not really getting into a lawsuit, but, talking about Bethany's part. And she was just like, well, Bethany could say things that I cannot say. Basically saying that this white woman could do and say things about the mistreatment that she received, and everybody will be on board with her. That will not be the same with me. And then she goes on to say, because I spoke out against Bravo, I got blacklisted. I lost a lot of opportunities. And those opportunities did not come back. And Carlos was just letting her know that they're going to do something, which I think would be a very smart move. But I do believe her. I believe that she was blacklisted. I believe that she did lose opportunities. I believe that, power players shut things down, because this is the thing that a lot of people don't know. This industry is very small. Everybody know everybody. All you got to do is pick up a phone call to confirm something. All you got to do is pick up the phone and be like, don't give this person that or give that person that. It's that easy. And it's that small. There are very few gatekeepers, and the people who keep the gates open do not look like Nene. Do not look like Nene. And a lot of times the people who are able to get into them gates make sure they shut the gate for everybody else that look like them. So I agreed with a lot of things that she was saying. And it's unfortunate that she's not back on reality TV because she's good. She's good. Say what you want, but Andy and Nene work well together. They had a relationship that worked well together, which is why he always had her on Watch What Happens Live. And then she says, he used me and a lot of the housewives to build Watch What Happens Live. And I remember Kathy Griffin saying her and Andy fell out because she was just like, I didn't know that I was in competition with him. I thought that he was just my producer. I didn't know that my producer wanted my seat. So Nene confirmed that and was speaking about how, he would use them for viewership, have a one-on-one sit down with her, have a one-on-one sit down with Portia, and bring people in and get them hooked on Watch What Happens Live, and then blacklist her from the show. And she was just like, that's crazy because I didn't do half of what Bethany has done. And she's been invited back several times. But you know what, girl? I don't think she's going to be invited back after this. I think you and Bethany are both going to be blacklisted together. It will behoove you to link up, because I saw you and Mariah post pictures from a lunch or a dinner that you guys had. And I'm telling you, Mariah and Bethany will be a force. But Bethany, I feel like she's too racist. I don't want to put that on nobody, but there's something racially tinged about that woman. Or she could just be unhinged. That could be the tinge that I am seeing. But again, Nene came out very likable. She was very open about her son's addiction, just very open about the loss of Greg. I think that this interview was, I will say, a rebrand, but it allowed a lot of people, myself included, to see her in a softer light, to sympathize with her a bit more, while maintaining the personality that got her such big checks. It was a really good interview, very insightful. And I think she's on a come up, not a come up, a comeback. And I think whatever she does and however she comes back, Carlos is going to be at the head of that. And that's smart. I feel like it's a smart money move, especially since the Nene interview is his highest viewed show on his channel. I think that's a smart partnership. I think that's a smart partnership. Now let's move on to the Kenya interview. Kenya, I feel like, is over the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I think she's over production as it is. And she went on to say, but not really say, that she was basically blacklisted from the show. Like that there's a lot of stuff that she did. There's a lot of stuff that she wanted to do. And Bravo shut it down. Production shut it down. And she just did not like how things were going. She was very open and honest about a lot of things, not as shady as she could have been. But she was just really telling the truth. She's just like, everybody is saying they want more from me, but how are you going to get more from me when I'm beefing with Courtney? She can't take me on. She can't handle me. She was just like, when we first got on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, the ladies had to audition. They don't have to audition anymore. You meet them when you're filming a scene. So we don't even get chemistry reads anymore because the ladies are just cast on the show. She was just like, I had to audition. Portia had to audition. And the reason why you all got so much of me and Portia was because Nene orchestrated a strike so that the Real Housewives of Atlanta ladies could get more money, which brings me back to why Nene feels so betrayed by the other ladies, because she was the one who orchestrated the strike that started getting them the millions of dollars. And she feels like after doing something like that, when she goes back to the ladies again and saying, oh, they're mistreating us, we need to do something. And they all say, well, you're on your own. You haven't been likable. Maybe you need to leave. And Nene is like, damn me not being unlikable. We're being treated unfairly because we're Black. And we're keeping the lights on at this network. Let's come together. And the ladies were just like, nah, that's not going to happen. So that's why she feels betrayed. But she was actually very mature about the conversation. She was just like, I feel betrayed by them, but I don't hold anything against them. She said, I'll see them and I'll say hi or whatever. But I felt like they should have stood with me in that moment. And I agree, regardless of how you felt about her in that moment, y'all should have stood together as Black women, Black people, and get what you were rightfully deserved. Because now what's going to happen, a white woman is going to get what is owed to you, and you're going to get mad about it. You're going to get mad about it when you have the opportunity to stand, because y'all stood before and was able to get more money than the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And then y'all got scared and allowed your personal feelings to affect the coin. So that's why you're in the situation that you're in now. That's why this show is looking like this, because y'all should have stood together. Even if you ain't like the broad, she was right. And she got y'all more money the last time. So y'all should have listened to her again. Anyway, Kenya basically just goes on to say that the reason why you saw so much of her and Portia in the season that they both premiered on was because the ladies were on strike. They wanted more money and they were not showing up to set to film these scenes. So production used Kenya. I got to be honest, Kenya, you as an actress, you knew you were scabbing. You knew you were scabbing. So production used Kenya and Portia to film stuff because they could not film with the other ladies. And they actually had dynamic scenes. But Kenya made some good points. And she was just like, we're never going to have that again because the ladies don't audition. There's no chemistry reads. So you see us not working on camera. But you see us not working on camera with people who are already cast for the show. So basically, back in the day, if Kenya and Courtney sat down in the scene, Courtney was auditioning, and she was auditioning for a few episodes for a whole season. I think Kenya said her first season, she didn't even get paid. She was auditioning that entire season. And I feel like they need to go back to that. We need to see who works and who doesn't work. And you need to have several ladies on hold throughout the season. Because if this lady shows up to two scenes, 2 or 3 scenes, she's not working, take her out and put the next chick in. That's what needs to happen, because y'all are casting these people. They don't know each other. They're meeting each other for the first time, and it's uncomfortable because nobody knows the energy of the other person. And Kenya also said this: you're hiring fans at this point. You're not hiring people who we're on the same level with. You're not hiring people who's actually in our community, who's actually being a boss in Atlanta. You're hiring people who are fans of the show. So when they come on the show, they have a target. They want to go after somebody, and it's not making sense. She was like, that's why I wasn't beefing with Courtney, because she wanted the moment, and it was so obvious. She was like, me, girl, we just never interacted, but she had a problem with me. It was obvious that she wanted a moment, and I was not going to play with her. And she basically spent the rest of the interview alluding to the fact that production is the problem. Production is the problem and has always been the problem. And I'm guessing that she is not happy with the guy. I think his name is Eric or something, who was running the show. Because a lot of the time in the interview, she had alluded to that there were issues there and it wasn't the cast. And she even said this: be careful what you ask for, to the people who wanted to reboot. Because she was just like, y'all trying to get rid of us when we aren't the issue. We're living our lives. We're filming stuff. They are just not putting it on the show. So basically saying, you want to get rid of us, you need to be getting rid of production. Let's see how this cast or the OGs work with new people with a different production before getting rid of us first. And I think, just like Nene, she made some really great points. I feel like these two were Carlos's best interviews. And the reason why I think that is because there was a level playing field there, right? Where he wasn't the top dog. And so he had to listen more. And he also had relationships with these women. So he felt comfortable saying some things. They felt comfortable saying some things. And it was really good. I felt like both interviews was really, really good. And I think it was a good, not rebrand, but it was good to see Kenya and Nene in a different light. Very mature boss ladies. And it's unfortunate that we probably won't see them again in the capacity that we did on the show, on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. But the way Carlos tell it, they got something cooking. So we will see. We will see. That's all I wanted to say. Let's get into Jade. Jade said Nene interview was a key. She was great. She's truly a star. I agree. She just radiates an energy that can't be duplicated. You are right. You are right. She did great. She did great. Jimmy says Nene burnt a lot of bridges, not just with Bravo, but Ryan Murphy too. What she do to Ryan? Mel said, as she should have. She was out of line. That's on her only. Are we talking about Nene? Jade said, I just hate how Carlos didn't hold Kenya accountable or call out any of all of her hypocrisy, which was every other sentence. Well, they're friends. They're friends. Sierra said, yep, people in the entertainment industry love lying on folks and squelching of others' careers. Yes. Yes. There's so much talent that leaves Hollywood because, of gatekeepers. Like I'm telling you right now, in movie and TV shows, you will never see the best of the best. You're not going to see the best actors. You're not going to see the best directors. You're not going to see the best writers in TV and film. You're not. You're going to see a bunch of Nepo babies. You are going to see a lot of untalented white people because these old, Jim Crow studios want entertainment to look a certain way because of how powerful media is. And so you're not going to get the best. Even if it's white actors, you're not going to get the best white actors, right? Because if you look at the white actors that are working right now, go down their lineage. They changed their name because they want to come off working class, right? That's what Nicolas Cage did. And I love me some Nick Cage, so this ain't no hate, but that's what he did. He couldn't, he was trying to get work, but he didn't want people to think that he was getting work because he was a Coppola. But you were, bro. You are. People were hiring you because you're Francis Ford Coppola's nephew. You're going to work. You could change your name all you want to trick the audience so we could think that you're some unknown actor that worked hard and slept on people's couches, but you're not. You're a Nepo baby. You're a rich kid. The majority of the actors and writers and people in the entertainment industry that you see working now are rich kids, wealthy white rich kids. Can't write, can't act, can't sing, can't perform, but they're getting 3-picture deals. It's because of how the Jim Crow studios want entertainment and media to look, because media is powerful. Sebastian said people aren't ready to really deep dive into Andy and his role in the chaos on and off camera. He is not liked, especially in a lot of. Oh, really? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Yeah, girl, I did not know. I think Bryce is in rehab right now. I think that he's in rehab right now. Johnny said, "Love your humor, Nikki. I feel like Bethany is racist. Tell the truth. I mean, like that's a big label to put on somebody, and I don't want to give it unless I have enough information. But she hits me in my ancestors. She hits me in my ancestors." Melly said Nene has no accountability and she was miserable to watch the last 2 seasons. Well, she explained that she was miserable because of what she was enduring on the show. I will say, when she said she doesn't beat up on production like some people, I was like, girl, we saw you beat up on that cameraman. That was the beginning of the end for you, because he sued. Jay said Nene needs to stay far away from Bethany. Not only does she say ignorant things, she's unhinged on that podcast, yelling like a delusional crazy lady, bragging about Rachel interview numbers. Did y'all see that crab leg video? Bethany. So Steph said Kenya's ego is a lot. I feel like people in corporate think she's good for TV, but don't really like her like that. I can see that. Melly said, please, Nene only started singing that song when she lost her job. It's not authentic. You don't think so? I feel like she's learned a lot from being blacklisted. I'm telling you, I feel like she was humbled. That's what I'll say. I feel like she was humbled. Tiny said, LOL, but Kenya came with a fakery and she's literally not working. Even when people are auditioning on set, she played victim when Court gathered her. Courtney gathered her one time, but she's a fan of the show and it was very obvious. I didn't think that she was a good counterpart for Kenya. So I could see her not entertaining that. Sierra said Kenya and Candy were the main ones who were against Nene trying to bring everybody together in 2020. Yikes. So Steph said, apparently Real Housewives of Atlanta is very difficult to cast. Any thoughts on why from Hollywood production perspectives? It's a messy TV show. And I think the people who are doing well in Atlanta and happy in their relationships probably want to steer away from that. And also the people who are successful in Atlanta, who probably didn't, who probably started their careers off of some money that's not clean, probably don't want that to be exposed. Jimmy said, when Kenya came on the show, she targeted Nene. What goes around comes around. I will say, from watching that, I remember when Kenya came on, guys, we got to be honest. Kenya was really trying to befriend Nene. Nene was not seeing it for her at all. Jay said, plus it's wild how Kenya talked about fabricated stories and forced drama scenes when that's what Kenya has done her own stint. I will say, I was watching the interview and I was just like, you were faking some stuff too. But she did say that people were talking about how her relationship with Walter, I believe, was fake. But she was like, it wasn't. He just did not want to be on camera. And it was really hard because he just did not want to be a part of the process. And she was like, and then it gets harder when you get men who do want to be a part of the process. Because then you're like, why are you so eager to be on this show? Reality TV, I'm telling you, the only way I would do reality TV if it's a family show. And a family show in a sense where my family is doing something to help another family, where we're like building a house, raising money for somebody to cover their cancer treatments or something like that. It has to be like aspirational and inspirational. It can't just be you watching our lives, because everybody's life is not that interesting. And then you have story producers trying to look for something that is interesting and looking for something that isn't there, or magnifying something that we're trying to work through. Nah, dangerous. So said, Kenya needs to go home. I hope her hair and I hope her hair salon works because this will be a big hit to her income. I hope so too. Hey, you said, Nikki, we need a reboot. Stop all that talking. We need a reboot. Shanti said, those last 3 seasons Nene was on made me dislike her. And the fact that she refuses to own her behavior is why I don't see it for her. She was the worst. The one reunion, she refused to answer any questions. Yeah, I think you talk about the last reunion, and she spoke about that. She was just like, they had me in black and everybody else in white. After they had the discussion with her while they cut her scenes and was saying, well, you seem unhappy. And she was like, well, I was unhappy because of the decisions that were being made. I think what we saw was somebody trying to start a revolution at her workplace or trying to unionize at her workplace with co-workers who didn't want to do that and just being frustrated in the process. And we got to be honest, she didn't look like she was happy there, but because of what she was enduring. Candy said Bethany was invited back to Watch What Happens Live, and she had several other in front of the camera opportunities. Very true. Very true. JG said, to be honest, they keep trying to cast Candy's friends, which is a dud. They need to seek out young women being the gate behind the gate that are real friends and not coming in being someone's protector. True. That might be coming, Dr. Rim. That might be coming. Let's get into the rumors because the only reason why I am reporting on this, because nothing has been confirmed, but the only reason why I'm reporting on this is because I feel like this isn't going away. I feel like there's going to be more stories coming out, rumors, until around next year, where we really find out what's going to happen with the show. I will say I do feel like people are putting out fillers, and I think the people that are putting out fillers is the cast for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I think there are probably some certain cast members who are trying to gauge how the audience will feel about certain things. So releasing things to certain sources, knowing that without much information, these gossip pages will just report anything. So I feel like that's happening here. But I also feel like it's just a conversation that everybody has been having. So let's talk about it. So we're going to talk about B. Scott, because B was the one who reported this. Hold on. Why ain't it showing up? All these damn ads. Why is this not showing up? I'm trying to get. Oh, wait a minute, B. Did you delete this? Child, see, that's why I deal with People Magazine. That's why I deal with People Magazine. For some reason, I cannot click on this story. All right, then I just click on I'll click on the Queens of Bravo. They basically said, breaking, according to B. Scott, the Real Housewives of Atlanta is getting a complete reboot. Everybody is out. Bob Bravo is very happy with the upcoming seasons of Real Housewives of Potomac and Married to Med. This is what was reported, but I'm trying to click on the B. Smith, the B. Love B. Scott interview, and it's not coming up. Wait, okay, here it is. It says, out with the old and in with the new. The Real Housewives of Atlanta is at all but officially getting a complete makeover. Sources exclusively tell B. Scott, who are the sources, B? Who are the sources? The production made the call to recast the entire show at some point during the taping of the season 15 reunion. A source close to production tells us that Bravo is beyond thrilled with the reception of the recently rebooted Real Housewives of New York. So they're fully on board with production's decision to recast the Real Housewives of Atlanta. The network is also very pleased with the upcoming season of the Real Housewives of Potomac and Married to Medicine. Casting for fresh new faces are already underway. We're told production has been quietly reaching out to managers and agents looking for new girls. There's no interest in bringing back any old faces either, not Portia or Kim Zolciak. First, I'm going to get into why I don't believe that. Because That's not how casting on these shows work. That is not how casting on these shows work. Bravo don't really make any calls until the reunion because that's one of their biggest money grabs, right? Um, Now there has been instances where they have said something throughout the season, but not like this. This just seems very messy. It seems like somebody who's not Bravo leaked this because that is just not the order on how these shows work. This is a thing. A production company comes to a network to sell a show. A network buys the show, but the production company makes a deal where they have to be hired to do it, and they have to have certain powers to do certain things, and they're in some kind of partnership with the show, right? But because the network bought it, they have the ultimate power to sue and recast and all of that stuff. However, with a network like Bravo or any network, they have thousands of shows. They are not hands on like that with all of these shows. They will have somebody from the network come in to just make sure the show is running smooth, right? And somebody who will be a point person for the network, right? So each show has a point person. And that point person or point persons will come in, check about the casting, check about the budget, just check sporadically throughout the season to see how everything is going. But that person has other shows, right? They basically leave production to do what needs to be done and hoping, because they can't be there every day, that they are doing what they agreed to do. The network just wants a show that will make them money. They are never going to go through each person who is cast on the show and watch each episode to be like, this isn't working and that isn't working. They don't do that. They don't have the time. They don't have the time. They hired the production to do that. But that's production's job. So it doesn't make sense that somebody from the network called and said, recast all of these girls. It's not working. For them to do that, they had to have been watching the show. For them to do that, they had to have been on Twitter and on Instagram and on Reddit, right? They don't do that. It's corporate. If we keep it a buck, it's corporate. They don't do that. They're not watching a show like that. They will come in, watch some scenes being filmed, and then they'll go on about their merry way because they got to go to Married to Medicine and check out Married to Medicine, and then they got to go below deck. And these shows are all filming in different places, right? But the show is a priority. They do look out for it, but they leave the majority of the work on production. They just come in and oversee. So it's far too early for Bravo to jump in and be like, oh, this cast isn't working before the reunion. Because this is the thing. If they can recoup their money at the reunion, they're not going to do much because they just want money. They don't care about chemistry, and that's production's job. So this to me already just doesn't seem real, because it's just, I think they would have done better if they would have said people at Bravo are talking. But to say that there was a call made by Bravo to production to recast everybody on the show, that's not how that works. That does not make any sense. They are looking at numbers. They're not looking at casting or anything like that. They are looking at numbers. Now, I'm not going to say that they don't, but not to that capacity where they just like get rid of the show, reboot it. You know how long it took for them to get to the point to reboot Roni? And that there was so much that happened with that. There was COVID, right? The beginning of COVID. Nobody knew what the hell to do, right? There was also a racist incident that was reported by one main cast member about another main cast member. I guarantee you that if Ebony would not have reported Ramona, and if Ramona wasn't acting like a raging racist around Ebony, the girls would still be here. That show got a reboot because of Ramona. Because they could not, after everything that was happening with COVID, with Black Lives Matter, with George Floyd, with the slaughter of George Floyd, they could not bring Ramona back, who was sitting on the show saying, I was boycotted by the Jewish community in college. They could not do that. So they had to reboot for two reasons. One, Ramona being the raging racist that she is, right? But you can't get rid of the Black girl, because if you get rid of the Black girl and keep the white woman that said the Jewish community boycotted her, it doesn't look good, especially where we were at that time. Then you got the whole cast linking together and saying, outside of Sonya, we don't want to film with Ebony. It's not a good look on the network, who was now at that point hiring diversity and inclusion people to work to make sure that everything, the show is working the way it should, because it seemed at that point that America and the globe was going into a different place, and that the place was favor of Black people and more diverse folks. So they wanted to get ahead of it so that they don't have to clean up after. So because of that, all these white women saying we don't want to film with this Black girl, they had no decision to make but to get rid of everybody and reboot with a diverse cast, younger women. They don't got the same money, they don't got the same energy, but that cast left them nothing to do. We have a Roni reboot because of the Real Housewives of New York, not Bravo, not their numbers. They had better numbers than the Real Housewives of Orange County, even during their COVID season. It was not that. It was not the fans. It was Ramona. It was the entire cast of white women saying they don't want to film with this Black girl. They got themselves fired. Bravo ain't they're not trying to do no work, guys. If this is working and they're making money, they don't care. They're not trying to do all that freaking work. They lost money by rebooting that show. The numbers still ain't where it needs to be, but it's getting better. But they lost money. They lost out a whole season of advertisers, right? While still having to pay out those ladies for the season that they promised them. Now you got to do all this recasting. Still the season ain't ready yet. And now you got to put money into advertising and launching these ladies. They lost money. Bravo has yet to make back the money they put into the Real Housewives of New York. They're not doing that. So this just doesn't make sense to me. I feel like it's somebody who's not Bravo that came out with this. And here's Bravo's response. A source, right? Bravo is denying reports that the Real Housewives of Atlanta is heading for a reboot after season 15. Earlier today, Love B. Scott reported the Real Housewives of Atlanta was heading for a reboot after a disastrous season, according to their production sources. Let's be very clear here. The horrendous season that they're saying that these ladies is doing is 500,000 viewers. They were not going to reboot that show because of that. They Watch What Happens Lives can't even bring in 1,000. Like, they're not going to reboot that show because of that. Those are not the numbers they used to get. It ain't bad. A source close to production tells us that Bravo is beyond thrilled with the reception of the recently rebooted Real Housewives of New York. So they're fully on board with production's decision to recast. B. Scott reported. A Bravo source said nothing official has been decided, which is true. You got to get to the reunions. Blaming reports on fan feedback that has suggested some viewers would like to see a change ahead of season 16, while the network is reportedly casting new women, as they always do towards the end of the season. This is fact. Page 6 is also I forgot. I did not mean to mention them demons. But y'all know, is also reporting that they haven't been able to find reboot-worthy women. I agree. They haven't found any famous people of note that want to be on the reboot. I think that's true. And if they can't find any famous people that want to be on the show, then they can't reboot the entire show. I believe that this is true. A separate second source also denied the reboot rumors to Entertainment Tonight. A second source, however, tells ET no decision has been made and likely won't be made until after the reunion airs. While many news outlets are crediting Love B. Scott with the reboot news, we exclusively shared on August 18th episode of the TVD's podcast that Bravo was considering a Roni-style reboot for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And we'll just say that it's interesting this story surfaced again today. Not TVD's being messy. I don't think that came from Bravo. I don't think that came from Bravo. I think that the reboot rumors, either came from the team of one of the ladies on the Real Housewives of Atlanta who was unhappy with production, or something, or Love B. Scott herself or their selves. I just don't believe it. So now let's get into, B, I'm trying to use your website, but baby, there's a lot happening here. Ciao. This is another thing from B. Scott. It says that the guy over production, Eric Fuller, is denying rumors that Truly Original is tanking the show. Real Housewives of Atlanta fans have been blaming Truly Original, the production company responsible for filming season 15, and showrunner Eric Fuller for his lackluster season. Eric, I got to be honest with you. There's a reason why you only cast people who work in Atlanta or who are from Atlanta, instead of bringing over LA professionals who do this and paying them to not paying them to work and paying to house them. There's a reason why. I feel like you're doing this because it's a budget cut, and it shows in the show. It shows in the show. It's very obvious that the Real Housewives of Atlanta is not being run by seasoned professionals. After Love B. Scott exclusively revealed that production is seeking a reboot of Real Housewives of Atlanta with a cast of fresh peaches, showrunner Eric Fuller is speaking out in his own defense, taking to Instagram. He wants to make it clear that he has nothing to do with casting or which makes the final edit, as many have assumed. I am not an editor. I don't make casting decisions. I don't choose what scenes make it or not. If you're going to come for me, come for me for what I'm responsible for. As we reported yesterday, both production and networks are down for a reboot. No man has all that power. He is absolutely right that he is not responsible for editing. Like you film the show and then you hand it to editors and they make those decisions. However, if you're an EP, you're responsible for hiring the editors. Like, you are the hiring person. Like, that's very crazy. Maybe he thinks that y'all don't know how executive producers work, but you hire everybody. And you hire the person that supervises the budgets. So you hire the editors that you are now blaming for not giving us a good season. And you absolutely are a part of casting decisions. You are the one who brings the people to the network. Now, the network has the final say over everything, but you are the one that brings them to them and have went through casting sessions with them or hired someone to go through a casting session with them and get them to the point where they now have to be approved by the network. So are you saying you don't make the final decision? Because you brought Courtney to the show. You brought Courtney to the network. And this is the thing. If you want this person to be on the show, you have to sell them. So you sold Courtney to the network. You sold Monyetta to the network. Now, they made the final decision, as they always do, but you are responsible for the show that we get because you put this together and hired everybody else who worked on it and put this together and then sent it to the network for approval. So I'm sorry, brother. I know you don't like the backlash, but this is on you. It's absolutely on the network because they approved everything, but you are not excluded from this. Let's get into your comments and then we're going to end with the lawsuit. JG said, Bravo ain't talking to B. Scott. That's Kenya. Oh, y'all, everybody's been saying it's Kenya. Notice her rants are all over Twitter, pulling producers in and then bringing in BS to add fuel to the fire and cause more cautious. Did you mean cautious or chaos? I am Rachel said viewers are struggling to differentiate the entertainment part and the part that the network is an employer, has an obligation to its reality TV stars. Team Andy or Bethany, a union is needed. Absolutely. Dr. Rim said, when is Salt Lake City coming back? I thought I saw something about Mary coming back to Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City comes back in October. Mary is absolutely going to be back. I don't know how much she's going to be on the show because from what I know, she's in the trailer a lot. And I'm like, okay. Have fun. Interesting. Shanti said, people are trying to say that B is lying, but I don't know him to be a liar. I will say, I don't think that B Scott is lying. I think B Scott is just presenting the information that was given to them from a source that they believe is credible. And I would not have thought that had that comment, a call was made from Bravo to recast everybody. Bravo don't got time or care about doing all that stuff. Absolutely. It has to get really bad for them to step in. Really, really bad. And 500,000 views plus every episode. The last episode was 780,000 viewers. And a reunion is probably going to bring in over $1 million. And they have had episodes that brought in over $1 million. They are, it's money, y'all. They don't care about how the fans feel about nothing. They are not making decisions for fans. They are making decisions for their pockets. And if advertisers are going to keep on buying money, buying commercials through those episodes, they don't care. The whole cast could stay. You will see Courtney again. If the reunion does over $1 million, you won't see Courtney. They don't care about that. So what said, get rid of the Housewife franchise altogether. I think that concept is dated, especially after the panorama. I can totally believe that it's hard to find new cast members. I happen to agree with you. So what? I do think that the Housewives is dated. I think we just need another formula because I think that people are just sick and tired of seeing the same old thing. Oh, I didn't know this. Georgia Peach. Georgia Peach said, I said the same thing, especially Kenya. She and Beast are best friends. They did the same thing when putting out info around Nene's negotiation during the pandemic. Oh. I know none of this. I Am Rachel said the network reprimanded her, and that's why she had to release that stand back and stand down tweet. Ooh. Yikes. Yikes. Jimmy said Kenya stand accounts were putting the names pics. Oh no. Wow. Mademoiselle said, what if the execs saw the reunion and said, this is not working because it's boring, which is why it's only a 2-part reunion? See, that's the thing, Mademoiselle, they don't. There are no execs sitting in a boardroom watching the Real Housewives of Atlanta all the way through. Absolutely not. I'm telling you right now, every exec at Bravo, every chairperson at Bravo, everyone who was on any board at Bravo has not watched a full season of any of these shows. They are not fans. They are money people. They absolutely sit somebody down there to make sure that show is working the way that it should work. And that is it. They're literally sending down an exec to go and make sure the money that they gave them is being spent the way that they told them it would be spent in the budget, and that they have enough to film a scene, because they have to then present that to corporations who want to buy commercials during their season, during the entire season of the show. That's it. Like, people think that these people are sitting home watching these shows. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Teresa said, Nikki, you've probably covered this, but where does the viewership data come from? It's an independent company. I can't think of the name right now because I'm thinking of that Bravo Views account. I forget what the name of it is. If you guys remember it, please just put it in there. But it's an independent company. They don't watch the shows, but they have computers that are able to, do the research and just give out this data that's not accurate, but it's close enough to show, who was watching, what demographic is watching what, and how much of that demographic is watching it. And that's something that a lot of companies use, because a lot of networks use, because they want to give that to advertisers and let them know that this is why you need to pay me $2.5 million to play your Coca-Cola commercial during my show, because this is how many people who will see that ad. Dahlia said, I still don't understand how the production teams for the Real Housewives of Atlanta and Real Housewives of Potomac consistently drop the ball when they bring in the highest numbers. I feel like Real Housewives of New Jersey and Real Housewives of Dubai had much better production. Jersey had much better production. They just don't have the numbers. That the fan base for Jersey is just not strong. And I think the same thing is happening with Jersey that's happening with Atlanta. Nostalgia. The fans want the old people back, but the old people don't like each other and they want more money. So Missy said, so am I correct in thinking that Kenya will not be back, not because of the reboot, but because of her interviews with Carlos? You never know. You never know. But if she's doing a lot of stuff to make a problem for herself, probably. Give Me Shelter said, I'm not watching Salt Lake City. They never addressed the Jen anti-Black posts on Facebook. Also, I just can't get into that cast. Mountain people are so dry and lack culture. I will say, Mary going to give you a show. I don't know how much she's going to be on the show, but she's going to give you a show. I Am Rachel said, reality TV mirrors society. Unfortunately, many societies are still divided along racial lines. Absolutely. It's rarely stumbled upon a racially diverse circle of women above 50. Introducing Ebony was a bad idea. I agree. And that doesn't say anything about Ebony. It just, she didn't fit. She didn't fit with that group. Mademoiselle said, evil. Nielsen's. Thank you, so Seth. Thank you. Nielsen's is the one who reports to the networks and let them know, and advertisers and let them know who was watching what. Independent, because the networks and advertisers want somebody who is not working for the both of them. So it could be neutral. Carmen said, which is why I stopped watching even on Peacock. These execs don't care unless we hit the pocket. Yeah, they're money people. Why do you think this strike is going on this long? They don't care about entertainment. They don't want to cut their paychecks in half to pay the people, to pay the artists that put on the work that everybody loves. They're just money guys. Oh, cool. What an interesting place to work for. Steve Harvey will never allow it. And Marjorie will be smart enough to not do that. My God, today, the way they will be up in her business, nope. I agree. Good production, but a lot of the women were boring. Give Me Shelter said, Jersey watchers are tired of the Gorgon sibling rivalry. I'm not watching this season. Yeah, they all need help. They all need help. Thank you, Elizabeth. Elizabeth said, hello, everyone. Hit the like, please. Thank you for being here. Jade said, why do people think the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Potomac was so bad? It's because of Wendy being iced. Oh! Araya, thank you so much for the Cash App. Oh, what happened? Thank you so much. It's because Wendy was iced out. That didn't make it bad. It just proves she isn't essential. I think the season was bad because of the violence. This is what happens. Monique ushered in a sort of environment now that that new fans are salivating for. Violence. They want to see these Black women fight. And since then, the show has just been becoming increasingly violent, hiring violent people like Mia. It just has lost a lot of its flavor with the OG fan base. The new fan base want it. They want people fighting. They want people throwing purses at each other and, ripping off wigs and cracking skulls. But the people who have been there from the beginning, it's just like, this is not my show. But again, you have to realize these are money people. They are going to chase the viewership. So if viewers want people who want housewives that are going to be fighting each other, you are going to get more violent women cast on that show. There's a whole fight on this upcoming season. And that episode, if it does well, they're going to hire more violent Black women. Money, guys. They don't give a damn about viewership. I mean, they don't give a damn about entertainment and art and, chemistry. It's money. It's money. Mademoiselle said they need to ask Tiffany Polar or Omarosa to come back on. Absolutely. They will give you a show. They will give you a show. Let's close out. Where am I at? I look at my time. Let's close out with this lawsuit. But first of all, before I do that, I feel like I got to change the time of my other one, my other live, because I'm going over. But let's close out with this Bravo lawsuit, shall we? Yeah, Mama's going over. You know, I want to start putting these at 30. I'm not going to put them at a whole time anymore, just to give myself space. Just to give myself space. So if you're going to watch my 90 Day Fiance live, I pushed it to 2:30 because I want to end with this talking about the Bravo lawsuit. So reality TV reckoning is coming. This is from Vulture. After firing for misconduct on a recent shocking episode of Below Deck, Down Under, and with Hollywood strike in its fourth month, reality TV powerhouse NBC Universal has found itself under the microscope with its growing reliance on reality TV. A scathing letter from a team of lawyers who have notably partnered with the Real Housewives of New York alum and genre blueprint, Bethany Frankel, shared on August 4th, directly mentions Bravo and hints at a bombshell lawsuit to come. The controversy with Below Deck's bassoon Luke Jones, who was fired after he tried to get into Stuart Margot Sisson's cabin completely naked following a night of drinking, forcing production and staff to intervene. He reignited the conversation over reality TV participants' protection. This isn't the first legal dispute to involve reality shows. Last July, Love is Blind contestants Jeremy Hartwell filed a lawsuit against Netflix's productions company Kinetic Content and casting company Delirium TV, alleging that the show restricted food and drink options, regularly providing the cast with alcoholic beverages and energy drinks, but not water, and left them without phone access for hours at a time. Let me tell you something. If the reality TV stars that work at MTV decide to sue, my God, today, that lawsuit is going to be monumental. What is Bravo being accused of? High-profile celebrity attorneys Mark Garagos and Brian Friedman are alleging that on multiple occasions, NBC has exceeded the moral and legal limits permissible in a civilized society. During the filming of its slate of reality TV shows, they have sent a 6-page letter during the filming of its slate of reality TV shows, period. They have sent a 6-page letter to the network signaling their intent to file an imminent lawsuit announcing that they are investigating allegations of fraud, emotional distress, distribution of revenge porn, that's from Raquel, and false imprisonment, and asking the network to preserve any corroborating evidence. The attorney said that they represent current and former cast and crew of NBC's most lucrative reality TV shows and accuse the network of a pattern and practice of grotesque and depraved mistreatment of reality TV stars and crew members. They allege that individuals have been mentally, physically, and financially victimized by the network. Oh, please, NBC, just settle. As a result, the solid and dark underbelly of NBC's widely consumed reality TV universe has remained under wraps for far too long. The letter states, please be advised that the day of reckoning has arrived. According to the letter, attorneys are investigating deliberate attempts to manufacture mental instability by applying cast members with alcohol and depriving them of food and sleep, covering up acts of sexual violence, refusing to allow cast members to leave their shows, and denying mental health treatments to cast members who are displaying obvious and alarming signs of mental deterioration. Oh my goodness, has NBC responded? With a huge stake in reality shows, NBC Universal has a lot on the line. Bravo alone has 11 different housewife shows spanning the country: Orange County, New York City, New Jersey, Atlanta, Potomac, Beverly Hills, Miami, Salt Lake City, Dubai, and Dallas, along with multiple spinoffs from Luann and Sonia, The Girls Trip. Also, there are spinoffs from Below Deck to Summer House, Winter House, Southern Charm. Plus, there's Vanderpump Rules, as well as an expanding slate of competition shows, including Project Runway, America's Got Talent, Top Chef, Shark Tank, Temptation Island, and The Voice, and countless others. NBC Universal insists that it is committed to maintaining a safe and respectful workplace for cast and crew on all of its reality TV shows. At the outset, this is NBC's response: we require our third-party production partners to have appropriate workplace policies and training in place. An NBC Universal spokesperson said in a statement issued to Vulture. If complaints are brought to our attention, we work with our production partners to ensure that timely, appropriate action is or has been taken, including investigations, medical and or psychological support, and other remedial actions that may be warranted, such as personal changes. How is Bethany Frankel involved? Frankel 52 stepped into the fray by taking to her Instagram and saying that it was time for a reality reckoning. Frankel proposed 10 rules for the reality revolution, saying that while reality entertainment had exploded during the actor strike, the participants on shows were not being fairly compensated. Frankel called for $5,000 base minimum for unscripted talent and a 10% raise each season, as well as for talent to be paid whenever their shows re-airs on platforms. Hold on, I got another Cash App. Let me get my Cash Apps. Got that one from Missy. Area, thank you. Thank you, Area. Mademoiselle, thank you, said for feel better. Thank you. I am. Thank you so much. These are ways that the talent can understand compensation without having to try to audit a multi-billion-dollar powerful company that hides money in different places and likes to try to pretend that everything equals a show expense, so you never get any of the gross. Frankel said in her post, content used later with no profit sharing and exploitation of hardworking talent is as archaic as calling empowered independent women housewives, a term that's setting back women 100 years, then using drama. When asked when a lawsuit might be filed, Garagos responded that at this stage, he and Friedman have been overwhelmed investigating complaints. Frankly, we have been inundated with the litany of horror stories and abuse that Brian Freeman and I have been working feverishly to investigate. Garagos said to Vulture, Bethany Frankel deserves a tremendous deal of credit for bravely speaking out and inspiring others. Let me tell you what's about to happen. A lot of things are going to happen. One, reality TV is going to unionize. Here's why I say that. SAG-AFTRA is now working with, Bethany and everybody else who she called on board to unionize reality TV. NBC is going to settle. They're either going to get rid of Bravo and just push everything over there on Peacock with new contracts, and just, their reality TV shows are going to look really different. 3, Bethany is going to go through hell. Because Bravo is going to lose NBC is going to lose a lot of money, because of her. And my God, today, like I said before, the industry is small, and what's an even smaller network of people, wealthy people, and they're going to link up. They're going to have that woman out there looking crazy. They're going to have stuff coming out about that woman that she was hoped was buried. It's going to get messy. Here is the thing. Bethany decided to link up with Raquel, also known as Rachel. I hope she knows what she's doing, because Rachel is all up and through that lawsuit. Because a lot of that stuff that is being talked about in that lawsuit, she was talking about on her on that podcast interview with Bethany. The sexual exploitation is exactly coming from Raquel, because she is talking about how it was talked about on the show. And I think it was shared, but it was blurred. So she's talking about that. And she's also talking about how they wouldn't let her leave certain situations. So she's going to be up and down that lawsuit. And my thing is, Bethany, I hope she is mentally stable to take on what this is about to be. I don't think that any of them have realized how difficult this is going to be. The lawyers that are working with them because they know that NBC is going to settle. Because what they don't want is for all of the stuff to get out, because people are just going to have stories upon stories upon stories. And what's going to happen is, if one person sees one person talking about their experience, then they'll start talking. Then the next person will start talking. And then a lot of stuff is going to come out. Then we're going to hit racism, right? We get into sexual assault with white women, and then we're going to hit racism, and it's going to be a wrap. And NBC is going to be like, before we lose all of our money, we'll just settle and get rid of Bravo. That just may happen. They just may reboot Bravo. You're trying to reboot the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Baby, they may reboot Bravo. And all them shows will get canceled and recast. because that's what happens a lot. These networks, they merge in and all of that stuff because they're trying to come back as something different. It happens all the time. So I think that may happen. I think they're going to settle, and I think they just may reboot. And Bethany is making herself the face of this. They're going to make sure that nobody else tries to do what Bethany is going to do. This is going to get ugly. What do y'all have to say? What do y'all have to say? That's why I was like, if those reality TV stars ever come together on MTV, we're going to watch MTV in our lifetime go bye-bye. Social Stuff said Ruthie was drunk the whole time on The Real World. She had a real problem and should have not been on TV. Remember when they filmed her driving drunk? MTV, we will watch MTV die in our lifetime if those reality TV stars that were on MTV start talking. MTV will pack it up. Pack it up. From what is those shows? The Challenge, from The Challenge alone. Child, Give Me Shelter said, remember what they did to poor... See? That's who I was thinking about. Baby. Social Stuff said, Emily B is covering this lawsuit as well. Her commentary is very interesting. I'm so sorry. You are saying Emily B, and I'm thinking about Fabulous's baby mama. Is that who we're talking about? So what said, that guy and others from Love is Blind is finding that streaming service too about the same thing. Yep. I'm telling you, we will watch some streaming services go away. They will die and merge into something else. Come back as something totally different. They do it all the time. Social Stuff said, Tim Gum been ripping Project Runway production and judges a new one. Yeah, I've been watching his little videos. I was like, ooh, Tim is talking. Deborah said, as soon as the power outage was confirmed of Below Deck, he made a beeline for her. He had a plan. He's a predator. Yeah, that's not the first time he's ever done that. That's not the first time he's ever done that. And he will do it again. Manu said, enjoyed you, Nikki. Time for me to go. But please stay hydrated and healthy, baby. I am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm not praising her, but I'm telling you what's going to happen. I'm telling you what's going to happen. The full support of SAG-AFTRA. They are going to the negotiating table with her. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Yeah, but this is the thing. Although Nene will not get the credit that she deserves for all of this, she is in the best place. I'm telling you, they're going to put that woman through it. They're going to put that woman through it. They're going to put her through it. And she likes to be the face of, helping. She likes to come in and be the face, not really do the work. But it's just at this point, she hasn't received any backlash. You're about to receive backlash from a $1 billion network, right? That's going to have other $1 billion networks behind them because they don't want you to give anybody else any bright ideas. Woo! Jimmy says, this all started with Bethany not being able to take a joke on Watch What Happens Live by Andy and Jeff Lewis. I remember that one. That was rough. It'll be worse because they got to make an example out of her. It'll be worse. Jimmy says, Rachel did this off camera. How was it Bravo's fault? Public opinion. Public opinion. Because there's already people saying, hell, even I said it, that the way Rachel was treated was unfairly. It was unfair how that girl was treated, right? That reunion, I accepted everything from Ariana. She could have did more, in my opinion. The way everybody else was eating her up, aside from James Kennedy, I was just like, this ain't a good look. This ain't a good look. She can absolutely say that she was bullied on the show. She can absolutely say that she tried to leave and production made her stay, even when she didn't feel safe. Ciao. And then somebody else could be like, yeah, they did that to me too on this show. That's why I left. Yeah, they did this to so-and-so. That's why she took her life. Ciao. They just better settle. They just better settle. Give Me Shelter said Bethany is still mad at Andy for playing her on Watch What Happens Live. I mean, he didn't tell any lies on her. Her Rewives show is just the same as ever Housewife podcast, no matter how she spins it. Yep. I would just settle and rebrand. Mademoiselle said Bethany is the beast in a strong way. She said she checked her bank account and she's good. Bethany is from the East Coast. She'll survive. Praise up. Praise up. Yep, they do it all the time. They do it all the time. Harvey Weinstein. What he do with the Weinstein Company? People are like, oh, the Weinstein Company folded. Absolutely, they had to with the name. But they sold the shows to other production companies and got a pretty penny and still probably has their hand in other things, but you just don't know because they had to change the name of the company. They do that every time. I think her whole entire podcast. I wouldn't hope for that. I think she's just doing this because she just likes being, she likes being in front. She likes the applause, right? And I always tell you, it's a dangerous place when you live for the applause, baby. When you live for the applause, you will do just about anything. And I think she is I think she stepped into something that's heavy. Heavy. There absolutely should be and will be. And will be. Oh, she's a lawyer on YouTube. Okay. I know you guys, you verify her. You guys said that she's good. Simply Simone said there are 20 plus years of reality TV dirt. These networks don't want to get out. Absolutely. Absolutely. Josie said the challenge has gotten so out of control. They now only get drink tickets they have to turn in for the. Oh, that's who I thought it was, Missy. Be nice. Sierra said, just like Megan Wants a Billionaire sunk 51 mines, yep, and made them cancel I Love New York 3 and all of their I Love shows. I think this lawsuit will have the same effect on. I think so too. I think so too. I think so too. I'm telling you, she's in the best place she could be. She don't want to be the face of this. She's in the best place she could be. Johnny says, man, the entertainment industry is going to look real different before 2024. I'm over here and I'm here for all these changes. Next, the music industry. Oh, that's coming. That's coming. They're going to have to do something. I'm telling you, I think it's just going to become Peacock. I think it's just going to become Peacock. I feel like there's something coming out about Tyra because they just don't stop talking about her. They just don't stop talking about her. Obi said alcohol comes into play only in the very minute the group of folks with these conditions, mostly those under the groups of substance abuse disorders. Let me tell you something. MTV, like I said, they're going to go bye-bye. If them people start talking, they're going to go bye-bye because especially in not The Challenge, but what is that show? The Real World. They don't have any TV, but they have endless access to alcohol. Why don't these people have TV? They don't have TV and they don't have cell phones, but they have fridges and cabinets full of liquor. For what? They got to go in court and defend that. Ciao. Georgia Pete said, I think this will strengthen Nene's upcoming mediation with Bravo and NBC. I think they're just going to be, I think it's just smart for them to settle, right? Because in the age of social media, these people are going to start talking and it just won't be a good look because this is what's going to happen. It's not because these networks have a moral clause or anything like that. It's because advertisers aren't going to want to buy commercials during your shows. Not when you're known as a network that rapes your talent. Not when you're known as the network that puts your talent in positions where they will be taken advantage of sexually because they're drunk. Not when you're the network that makes sure that your talent is having a mental breakdown, can't leave set. That's bad for business. That's bad for business. Oh yeah, they've been cooking her. They've been cooking her for a while. And I'm telling you right now, that's the start of it. Because they are the ones that support their girl. And when those, all of a sudden, those Bravo pages start talking bad about her out of nowhere and getting all their fans to turn on her, ciao. Sierra said, that reminds me of Kelly saying Bravo forced her to go on that girls trip in season 3. I'm sure they threatened her in some kind of way. And going on that trip ruined her career. They've been doing dirt. That wouldn't, I don't know if that will hold up in court. Because how would they force you? Did they have a gun to your head? Did they kidnap your children? You know what I mean? You still made the decision to go. Jimmy says, what's funny is that Bethany screamed at Kelly and said she was lying about production. Yeah, because it was working in her favor at that moment. It was working in her favor at that moment. Give Me Shelter said, if that girl Faith had good people around her, she could go after Stassi, Kristen, and Lala. Lala bragged about pulling a knife out on Faith, but there was no protection for Black girls. Baby, it may be coming. It may be coming. Dahlia said, see, the UK got smart. They don't even let Love Island contestants drink. Oh, they don't? I think the Bachelorette people don't let people get intoxicated either. Bad for the family-friendly look. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, my goodness. Love Island UK. So they unhinged like that off of coffee. That's why everybody's making a coffee. Ooh. So what says, y'all remember the reality shows back in the day? Messy, messy, messy. This is going to be interesting. Y'all remember The Swan? Yikes. Dalface said, if the networks have to pay the writers and actors more, I think shows like Housewives are done. Competition shows may survive. I think this is going to happen. I think this is going to happen. The Housewives are absolutely going to be kaput with the unionization. Absolutely. One, because it's going to be hard to produce, right? Two, out of spite. Out of spite. Dahlia said, if MTV were smart, they get ahead of this and pay those people some hush money with it. I would. If I was an exec at MTV, I was like, get all of our talent on the phone right now. Let's put out a nice coin. Because if they start talking, none of us is going to have a job. It's going to be so messy. I'm telling you, sexual assault, suicides, eating disorders, it's going to be nasty. It's going to be nasty. Yeah, they was doing anything during a writer's strike, but now it's a different time. Social media. Everybody is locked in. Everybody is locked in. And if we end up going on, not another shutdown, because I don't think that's going to happen, but something similar because of this new COVID variant, pay them people. Pay them people. That's why. So right now, the lawyers, Bethany and her lawyers, they just want a right to sue. That just basically scares you into settling. So I think they just want to settle and move forward. I would do it. I would do it. Just settle. Keep your jobs. All right, guys, let me get a few more that I got to get out of here. Sierra said, I wonder if Kathy Griffin is in a lawsuit. I love some Kathy Griffin. It would be smart for Bethany to link up with her, but they have the same personality, so I don't know if that's going to work. Tiny said, I have too many diagnoses, but to sum it up, mood disorder and ADHD. I also have family and friends in other categories. Anger plus alcohol is never not unhinged. Ciao. Oh, they're limited to drinks. Okay. Yeah. Ciao. Yep, Bachelor in Paradise incident a few years ago. That's why they don't let them drink anymore. And remember Bachelor Pad? That's how we got Bachelor in Paradise. We got Bachelor in Paradise because there was a sexual assault on Bachelor Pad. Ciao. Philly Joan said, can I just say with the strikes and the unions going and a union going on, the YouTubers are killing it. Thank you. Thank you. Carmen said, what do you think about Jennifer Lawrence and her Oscar win, but now barely any jobs? She was close to Weinstein. I don't know anything about that. And I just don't want to talk about that because whenever he launched her, she was a child. And so I just will love for everybody to leave Jennifer Lawrence alone. Because if something happened to her, she was a child when it happened. Let that woman live. Let that woman live. Vicky DC said all the BGCT is coming back. Bagger. Oh, that's another one. My God, today. Whoo, chow. Chow. Yeah, she was a child. A child. Let that lady live her life. She was a child. Anyway, family, I have to get out of here. I got to jump into my next live. Thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you so much for your thoughts, prayers, and concerns. Your girl felt it. I'm doing a lot better. This was good. We had a really good time. I don't know how long this is going to be able to stay up because we went in. But you know, like it while you can, watch it while you can, and I will see you soon for something else. Hopefully, 90 Day Fiance. Love y'all. Bye. Poor child.